Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, but also episode 1 of Prime Sports. This is the first time we're recording it under our new branding. I guess just can confirm that it's us making the change and not some imposters.
We're
Uh,
not getting hacked.
yeah. I thought some people might have thought that actually,
Yeah.
but no. Um, do we want to go over like quickly like why we made the change, you think?
Yeah, I think it's good to update that.
You wanna tell them?
Yeah, so we just felt that I don't know, we weren't getting not really the results that we wanted, but the clarity from the name that we had before, the Rookies podcast. We created that and we thought, it sounded good to us and it was something that kind of made sense at the time. But now that like we're taking this a bit more seriously and we actually, want to make something out of it, we thought that maybe it's not the appropriate name to use, especially because we're more than just a podcast. So we wanted to kind of take that out of our name. We're a podcast, but we're also, like an Instagram
Yeah, media,
account.
sports media.
Yeah, we post graphics, we do all type of things. It's not just podcasts. So we want to let like the viewers know exactly what we are rather than just one thing that we do. So yeah, we felt like it was a needed change, and yeah, here we are. We came up with a new logo, new branding for everything,
Yeah.
new
We really
merch,
like it.
new ideas for merch, which is gonna be really nice.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Stickers, all those type of fun things, and yeah, stay tuned for everything, I guess.
What a great explanation, Lan. Good job.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so today's episode is gonna be based on the Premier League, pretty much. We haven't touched on that in a while, and feels like the appropriate time with all the new transfers going on and all that, players linked and whatnot. But we'll start off kind of recapping the season and like some main parts of it. So I guess we can start off with Man City winning the treble. We kind of talked about that a while ago, but this is more in focus. And well, Nico, what can we say about them? Like the I feel like even when Arsenal were in the top of the league, which we'll get to in a bit, but like I almost still didn't have my doubts that Man City was gonna win it again.
Yeah, it was about time that they won the treble. And if you're specifically talking about the league, like I think we all expect them to win every year.
Yeah.
They just have such a dominant team, and there's nothing much else to say about that. They're just really good. They're that type of team that you just expect them to win every year. That's how good they are.
Yeah.
So yeah, I came into the season expecting them to win. I was surprised by Arsenal's title run. I didn't expect it, especially I didn't expect them to bottle it because they were doing so good at the start.
Yeah.
So that came as a surprise, but it also didn't come as a surprise that City came back
Yeah.
as it's City. So yeah,
I
overall, I think you expect them to win.
I want to say that even though, um, like even when Arsenal were at the top, I'm pretty sure there was still some like betting sites that still had Man City as favorites to win, just because of how good they are. And
Yeah.
maybe people saw the bottling and happening. I don't know, but
Hmm.
yeah, like everything you said, like it's just an expectation now for Man City to win the league. They're so good. They just keep getting better every year. Like they're linked to Vardial now.
Hmm.
That's just gonna make them even better.
But I gotta
And
say though, like
uh,
Arsenal too, they're improving a lot. Like
yeah,
with, and we'll talk about it in a bit. But the
yeah,
transfers that they've been making, them and Man City might go back at it again this
yeah.
season. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yeah.
So obviously now we just touched on them, but Arsenal bottled the league. That's gotta be like, especially through everything they've been through, like finishing outside the top four in the last like what 5 years it feels like, and
Yeah.
to be that close to win the league, and then you lose it in like the last 3 match days, 2 match days or something like that. That's got to be a kick in the junk.
Oh yeah. I think that's the worst way to lose. Um
Dortmund lost pretty bad, but this one's bad as well.
yeah, but the thing is like Dortmund weren't as I don't know, dominant in the first part of
Yeah,
this. Like everybody was convinced that Arsenal was finally gonna win the Premier League. And then obviously we saw what happened. So I don't know. I feel like it makes it even worse because you're expecting it so much. Like imagine Napoli bottled the league with how good they were doing.
Oh my. I think that would be
Like,
worse, no?
and remember, like near the end of the season, they kind of started dropping a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like imagine like they started dropping points maybe a month earlier and then they ended up bottling the league. Like that's crazy. So I think that's like a horrible way to lose, especially when you're doing so good at the start.
I feel like that would put a big smile on your face though.
Yeah.
Like I try not to be biased, but Arsenal bought in the league kind of put a smile on my face as well. As a Chelsea fan. Not that
It's
I
a,
can say much.
no, but
Not that I
yeah,
can say much.
you can't really talk as a Chelsea fan right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. At least
Uh,
we've won the Prem recently
no, but
and
honestly, like
Champions League.
honestly, I think a lot of people would have been happy if Arsenal won though because they obviously
True.
haven't been winning in a lot of
It's been
years.
a long time, yeah. But I
Um,
want to say the last time was their invincible season, wasn't it?
yeah, I
Yeah.
think around that time, I
Yeah.
think like early 2000s. But the thing is, I don't know, I think everybody would like it just to see like a change, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
I
you're
get
always
that.
seeing like Man
You just
City,
see Man City, yeah.
Man City, Man City, Man City. Like how many times did they win in the last 5 years? What it was like four times out of five?
I think they won five in the last seven,
Oh, okay. So like
I think.
it's a good change, I guess.
Yeah.
Even if you're a Chelsea fan, let's say, and you're both London clubs, like it's still good to have a change.
Yeah. At least Arsenal can say that. Like, at least even though they haven't won in a while, like Spurs still haven't won it in like ever. So like
Like
they have that against their
example,
rivals.
when Inter won, like me as a Milan fan, when Inter won the league, yeah, I wasn't like ecstatic about it, but I also was happy that it was the first time in like 10 years that Juve didn't win it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it was a good change. Anyway, let's not get off topic. Yeah, it was a crazy result, Arsenal not winning. Um, do you think they can take it back this year? Do you think they can like make up for it?
I think they can. And you mentioned earlier, like all their them getting better as well as
Mm.
Man City is because of all their new signings like Havertz and so on. And we'll get to that later. But I definitely think they can run it back and almost like they got Champions League now. We'll see how they do there. Like we'll see how they do with like multiple heavy competitions with the league and Champions League. But I think they can do it. Like at least top three, right?
Mhm.
The Prem is a tough league to say like, oh, I bet they'll be in first again. But like I can see them top three again for sure.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah,
They have the team for it. They're improving their team even more, so why not, you know?
they play well too. They have a good coach, so it's not like they were lucky to get a high place, right? They earned that with the way they played. They just fell apart in the last bit there.
It was more just mental.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
lad.
I think we
You
can
wanna?
move on, no?
Yeah, you
We
wanna
can move
start it?
on. Yeah, so let's move on to another big surprise. Well, I don't know if you would call it a big surprise because we all knew that they were getting invested into a lot, but Newcastle qualifying for the Champions League for what was it, the first time in how long?
I don't know. I want to say since like the Alan Shearer days,
Yeah,
probably
so
90s,
mhm.
if not
So
2000s.
so like I don't know. I don't know if you would call it a surprise because we knew that there was going to be a lot of money brought in. Maybe a surprise that it came so fast, especially in a league like the Premier League.
I would say no one predicted it. I'll
Yeah.
say, yeah, you're right. Like we could see them like they were gonna be good eventually. No one just knew like when, I guess. But I would say no one really thought this coming like at the start of the year. But I think this is great for the league. I think this is great for the sport, even though like like they're heavily invested and they're gonna be bullying everyone in terms of signings and stuff. But I think it's good to have like another competitive team, almost making the Premier League a top seven now. And
Hmm.
so all these title races, all these Champions League spot races, even like Europa League spot races, they're gonna be like so competitive now rather than just a top two race, for example, like we saw with Man City and Liverpool a couple times now.
Yeah, because those places like near the bottom were getting so predictable now.
Yeah,
Like we're getting used to seeing, Arsenal, United, Tottenham, those type of teams making like Europa League or Conference League or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
There was no real competition anymore. It was more just a top four. So now that brings more teams into the action, and hopefully it even opens up chances for other teams to get other investors to come in
yeah.
and do the same thing and make it even more competitive. So I don't know. I wish the same thing was happening in Serie A. Let me just say that
Yeah, I
because
was just about to say I hope like you said like hopefully it gives other teams opportunity in the league. I hope it gives like other leagues like I just want it to be balanced around Europe pretty much because like
yeah,
look at how much money that okay, we'll get to this in a bit, but like you can see how much money like they're spending like the Premier League teams compared to like other leagues, but yeah.
yeah.
Anyways, is there anything else you want to mention about Newcastle?
Um, no, so I just want to touch on their last transfer market. Do you think you were expecting them to finish so good after the players that they bought last summer? Like they brought in some pretty quality players.
They did.
So
Yeah, they brought a couple good players in.
they brought in was Saint Maximum there for a while
Yeah,
before
he was. Yeah,
he
I
was there,
I
right?
did they bring in Trippier? Because
Yeah,
I know he was at Atletico. Okay,
they brought in him, they brought in Botman, they brought in and I'm just like naming the
yeah,
biggest players that they brought in. They brought
Isaac,
in Isaac,
he's
which
good.
he's good too.
Yeah.
Um who was that midfielder that they brought in?
Are you talking about the Brazilian Bruno
Yeah,
Guimarães?
yeah.
I think he was there maybe a couple years, but he's not like old. Like he hasn't been on that team for a long time, so they're building a team well.
They're building a great team. I definitely didn't expect them to finish top four, but yeah, the good props to them,
Yeah,
and now they're making their team even stronger.
and Eddie Howe is doing a
Um,
good job as a manager as well.
yeah, with the signings that they brought in now and that they are bringing in this summer, like Sandro Tonali. Who else are they linked to?
Um, earlier, I heard they were like linked to Neymar, but I don't know if that's gonna happen anymore because I haven't really heard much of that. But yeah, Tonali's a big signing. I can't
They
think of
also
anyone else.
they wanted Barella too, but I don't know if they're gonna
Oh,
go for him now
that's
that they
right.
got
Yeah,
Tonali.
yeah,
But I actually heard that they wanted to get both Barella and Tonali, which would have been like insane.
yeah.
They
Interesting.
would have Italy's future midfield in their team. So, yeah, I don't know. Good props to them, I guess. Like it's every team's dream to have investors like that.
Yeah,
So the fans should enjoy it, especially after so many years of not doing good. They kind of deserve a bit
yeah.
of success.
And at
Um,
least they're like a big historic English team.
yeah,
Not like City was. They were like completely irrelevant before they were bought. Like at least Newcastle has history
a lot of people
before them.
knew of Newcastle before this, so
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So good for them.
yeah. Okay, we can
And
move on to the next topic.
lastly, like I want to say maybe most shocking. But I'd say more shocking than Newcastle making Champions League, no?
What?
Leicester being relegated.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That
I'd
was pretty shocking. Like they won the league what not so long ago. Like what was it? 2018, 19, 17, 16 even?
I think it was 16.
Okay.
I think it was 16, 17.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I remember I was in like grade 7 or 8. I don't know.
Still pretty shocking though to get relegated. Like even like they weren't winning the league. They were still like top 10 at least from that point on.
Mhm.
Even top 7
And
sometimes.
you
So
gotta feel for Jamie Vardy too. I mean,
yeah.
the guy's stuck with the team for so long, and
Yeah.
he's been loyal to them, and now they're going down. Do you think he might leave?
I don't know, only because he's a little bit older now. I think he's like 36 or something. So
Yeah.
he might just end it there, yeah. But at least he won a Premier League, so like that's gotta help a little bit. Like if he had won nothing, then that'd be a little bit more disappointing, but at least he's won something. But yeah, that was pretty shocking. Especially like they still had the decent players on their team, like James Madison, right?
Yeah.
So Harvey Barnes, some nice players there that I'm sure will probably leave now. Madison's already left to Spurs. Um, but like overall, I'm just shocked that they were relegated. And I
Mm.
think the main reason is because I remember Brendan Rodgers said something like around the end of the transfer window in winter. And he said like they weren't getting like any like financial support for like new signings and stuff. So they just had to sit with their old team and like if you get injuries, like you have no one to like really come in that's a strong candidate. Also, just flat out no help. So I think that probably had like a big effect on their season, but I'd say it kind of sucks to see them out.
Yeah, they're a pretty historic team in England, so
Yeah.
it's not nice to see them not competing in, the biggest competition in England and in the world. Um, so yeah, I hope to see them back in the Premier League next year,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, like they can rebuild their team slowly or however fast they want to. Hopefully, like heard their fans are probably hoping, it takes only 1 year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It all depends on the ownership. Like if you keep the same ownership, I don't know if like obviously they haven't shown much support so far, so I don't know how fast they want to come back.
If they don't instantly promote, what do you think happens to Leicester? Like what if they're not even like in playoff the coming season right now? Do you
I
think
would
they
say like
slowly fall as a club?
I would say the fans would definitely begin to protest it and kind of like force the ownership out in a way.
Hmm.
That's usually what happens to these
Yeah.
teams when that happens. So I'd say like hopefully for them new ownership come in and with big money and big plans and then get them back up. That
Yeah.
could be an option, kind of like what happened with Newcastle. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see
Because
what happens.
you see things like remember Sunderland?
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were in the
Sunderland.
Premier League for so long. They got relegated and then they never came up since. I think they went down to like League Two almost.
Yeah.
Or League One right now. I don't think they're in the championship. So like hopefully Leicester don't fall into a a ditch like that. I
It
don't
would
think they
suck
will, but
because
yeah.
we got used to seeing them up there in the
Yeah,
last
exactly.
year. So yeah.
Exactly.
All
All
right.
right.
Yep.
Let's move on to like some of the big summer signings that we've seen. And there's been a few actually.
There have.
Um, do you want to start off with one?
Yeah, so I want to start off with one that I'm very like excited to kind of like see how it plays out. Mason Mount.
Okay.
You probably thought I was gonna say someone else, but
I did to be honest.
no,
But you're right. But you're right, yeah.
Mason Mount. I'm because okay, you probably thought I was gonna say Tonali.
No, I actually thought you were gonna say Rice.
Oh, okay, well that one
But
too because okay,
we have a bit to talk about with Rice. We have a bit to
yeah,
talk
we'll,
about with
we'll
Rice.
we'll we'll save it for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Mason Mount. I don't know. I'm very interested to see because I'm not like the biggest Mason Mount fan. I told you this already. I think I
Yeah.
even mentioned it last episode if we talked about it. I'm
Yeah,
not
you said I don't like Mount. That's what you said.
sorry, kid. Like, I don't know. I just didn't really like how he was doing on Chelsea. Maybe it's just like a form thing. Maybe it's just because Chelsea was bad. So
Yeah,
like
maybe.
he played bad as well, and I didn't really see like the true version of him. And you're a Chelsea fan, so you can tell me like, was he actually like a class player before?
He was like when Lampard would coach, like right when all these players were like young, he was really good. Like he was getting me excited. I'm like, wow, this guy's gonna be great for us. And then
But
like
like,
and then all these coaches kept like changing and changing and changing. There was no rhythm in the team.
and
And
that's not
then
good for young players.
yeah, and then he started playing less and less. Like he wasn't even playing anymore by the time what's his face? Potter came in and then Lampard came for his second tenure. And yeah, he just
Pulisic,
wasn't playing much.
Pulisic was probably playing more than Mount.
You know, I think he
A lot to
was.
say.
I actually
It's
think he was.
a lot to say
Which
because he was
sucks
injured
because
half of the season.
yeah, which sucks because Mount was like a big piece of like that Champions League winning team and even and like seasons prior to that. So I'd say he was good, but like recently time hasn't treated him well, I'd say.
Hmm. Hmm. And before I forget, I just touched on it. I know we're talking about kind of like signings that stayed in the Premier League, but I just want to mention real quick, Pulisic. I'm very excited to see how he does on Milan because I know you have like a lot of doubts. You think him and also Loftus-Cheek are gonna do really bad. I'm
Okay,
gonna stay hopeful only because I know what happened to a lot of Milan signings when we signed them, like Benacer, Kier, Leao, Teo Hernandez, Tamori. They were all criticized like right now, and then they ended up being good and they shut everybody's mouth. So like, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna see how they play, and then we'll see how they do. But I'm
I,
more excited to see how Pulisic plays out than Loftus-Cheek.
I was gonna say I feel like Pulisic is in a better situation for success. Um,
He's younger. He's like 23. He still has a lot to improve.
Also Loftus-Cheek is like I was just never like a fan of him. I told you this. I just don't think he's like that great. But
I-
but playing in the Serie A, different league, different opportunity, probably gonna be playing more. Who maybe he finds his form.
He's a really
You know,
big guy,
yeah.
Loftus-Cheek. He's a
You
huge
never
guy.
know.
So like if with that much physical, like I think you can do really well in Serie A. And as far as Pulisic, he's a very like tactical, like fast dribbling player. He also, scores quite a bit for a winger.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Give him some play time. Give Loftus-Cheek some play time. Maybe they might find their form again. I have no idea, but we'll see.
I'd say the signings are good for both teams.
Yeah, I don't want to like talk about this topic too much, but I just wanted to kind of like say it before I forget that
Yeah.
just to keep an eye on those signings
Yeah.
because might be more regrets for Chelsea. Let's see.
Okay,
Uh,
relax.
I don't know. You guys seem to regret Tamori, so I just wanted to throw that out there. We'll see.
Relax,
But
pal.
I've noticed Milan and Chelsea do have a really good relationship
They
when it
do.
comes to transfers. Like they seem to like doing business together.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's true.
So back to Mount. Yeah, I'm just
Oh
I'm
yeah,
really
Mount Up United, yeah.
yeah, we got off topic.
I don't
I'm
know.
very
I'll say it all depends how much he plays.
yeah, yeah. But he can do good though. He can do
Yeah.
good. He's definitely very motivated.
Yeah.
He got number 7. So like
Garnacho is punching air right now.
yeah, really.
He has
I
like a
thought he
tattoo. His birthday cake had a 7 on it.
yeah, poor guy.
Something else, but yeah, unlucky. Anyways,
So I don't know. I think he's in the place where he can find success because Man United are looking to make that jump.
yeah.
Um they're playing in the Champions League, right?
hmm
Yeah, they're playing in the Champions
I
League,
think
so
they finished third,
fourth,
right?
third,
Un-
yeah,
yeah, they had a good year.
yeah.
They just had a bad start with Ronaldo and Maguire. Wow, it was a long year.
And to follow up on Mount, and also kind of like Man United's rebuild in a way.
Yeah,
Onana, Onana is close to being official.
yeah,
He's gonna be really good for them because I don't know, De Gea looked a little shaky these last few seasons,
yeah, yeah. He
and
hasn't looked. He hasn't looked like his old self in a long time, and he
he's
still won
also
Golden Glove.
yeah, and he's getting old.
Yeah,
So I think Onana is like perfect. He's
yeah.
not too old. I think he's around like 25, 26.
And like De Gea said, I think it was the right time. Like I think it was the
Yeah.
right time for him to leave. Like he was there for a while, like over a decade, I think. I think he got there in like 2012 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's been a long time coming for him. So hopefully, I think he'll probably find a place in like in La Liga, probably.
Mhm.
Maybe not top three because I think they're all pretty sorted with their goalkeepers. But you never know. Maybe maybe a Sevilla. They're looking to get back on
I
their feet.
actually heard Inter were thinking about him as
Oh
well
yeah,
because since they're giving United Onana, they were thinking of either getting Jan Sommer from Bayern, even though he's
yeah.
like really
Heard that.
old. Like he's
Yeah.
good, but he's like 36, 37, and they still want like 6 mil for him. Which I think is a lot for a player that age.
hmm
Um, and then De Gea, like if you get him, yeah, he's okay, but he's also
He's
decreasing now. He's
and
going
he's
down.
also getting up there in age. Like I'd say at least 33.
You'll
Right.
get him for free, which is great, but I mean, I don't know how much he's gonna do for you. And
Yeah.
then Inter, we're thinking like, okay, we'll get like an experienced goalie, and then we'll get a young guy. They want to get Shakhtar's goalie.
Yeah, I
His
heard
name
they
is
want a young keeper.
Turbin, I think is his name, if I'm pronouncing it right. So he's good. He's a young Ukrainian keeper. Uh, so they want to either get like him and De Gea or him and Sommer. That's what Fabrizio said. So I don't know. We'll see.
All right.
So yeah, that's kind of like to close off the whole De Gea discussion.
Yeah.
Um, what's next? Tell me yours. Tell me
Any
what
other
I.
United stuff? I don't think so, right?
That's it for now. I know they're looking for a striker, but
Yeah.
just rumors right now, nothing
Yeah.
official.
And
What's
yeah. Yeah.
what's one of your top transfers so far? You
Okay,
want to talk
so
about Rice?
let's talk about Szoboslai first, and then we'll get to the
Oh,
big ones later
I
on.
forgot about him. I forgot about him.
He's the player that I thought would leave like a long time ago. Like
Yeah.
when Hungary competed in like Euros and stuff, I was like, who is this guy? Like, why is he doing so well? Then
Hmm.
he's on Leipzig and like competing in Champions League.
Yeah.
Like a solid any team would take him,
Hmm.
even if you're
I
like Man
already
City.
I already thought, to be fair, that he was gonna move like to a big European team right when he was playing on Salzburg. And then he went to Leipzig and I'm like, okay, like that's weird. I thought he was gonna
Yeah.
go to a better team. Like no offense to
To be
Leipzig.
fair, Leipzig is a good like a
Yeah.
developing team.
I guess it did make him better and it gave him Champions League experience. Maybe it was a smart move. I just like with the way that things go nowadays, like I thought he was gonna go immediately to like a Man United or a Liverpool or Man City, like you know.
Would have been great for Milan.
We were actually linked to him when he was still on Salzburg and then never came through.
Unlucky.
Yeah, I really wanted him,
Just
but
like usual, they never come through.
okay, you're gonna get a lot of Milan haters for that. Stop
Anyways,
picking fights.
not much to say about Szoboszlai, but I think it's a great signing by Liverpool,
Yeah. No,
and
it is.
they'll be
He's
looking
a
to get back in
class player.
Champions League. Yeah.
He's a class player, but you know what I was just thinking? Do Liverpool even play with a cam? Because he's a cam.
Um,
Unless they put him in midfield, but that's
they
just
could
kind of
also. I feel like he could also play like a wide midfielder.
mm, I don't know.
Oh, you
Honestly,
don't agree, huh? Let's go
I don't
right
I don't
now.
know about that. I don't know about that.
Oh,
By the
sorry.
way,
Should I log off now then?
breaking news since we're talking about the Premier
Oh,
League.
what happened?
Um
Oh,
Bayern
wow.
have just submitted their second bid for Harry Kane.
And we actually have a discussion about Harry Kane in a bit.
Yeah, so that should be interesting to see how that plays out. What do you think if Harry Kane goes to Bayern?
80 mil. Okay.
If I
Uh,
was Tottenham, I would be like leaning
yes.
towards yes for that. Dude, 80 mil for Harry Kane, I'd take that.
He's 20, like what, 29, 30?
I'd take
It's a
that.
great deal.
Yeah.
Even if he is one of the best strikers in the world.
I don't think you're gonna get 100 mil for him. I wouldn't.
Unless he would go to like Man United, I feel like they would pay 100 mil.
I mean, if Declan Rice is 100 mil, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Anyways,
that. We'll get to that.
do we want to talk about Harry Kane now or do you want to wait?
We can wait.
Okay.
Were you done?
Szoboszlai, great signing.
Yeah,
Great.
it's almost like solid, very solid signing. So Declan Rice, let's touch on that because I really just want to. I want to have your opinion on it because
And I want to have your opinion too, because I
yeah,
know you're
well, that's kind of like what we do here. We share
okay. Sorry.
opinions.
Sorry, I just got here.
Um, so I think too much money. I think it's way too much money. If Declan Rice is worth 100 million, then you can make the case for half of Europe's midfielders to be worth 100 million. This whole like Premier League tax is very true. It's very real.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's all because he's English. Like if he was like some, like if he was maybe I don't know. I'm just gonna make something up like
Italian.
Danish.
Yeah.
He'd still be a high price, but he'd probably be like 50. I'm not even kidding. Like that would drop the
Yeah.
price significantly if
I
he
don't know
wasn't English.
why that is though. Like I really don't get it. I don't get it. Why did they put themselves in that situation? Isn't it worse for the teams because then they have to spend more money on these players?
I feel like it's this whole thing like, oh, they're proven in the Premier League and all that nonsense. But like if you're a soccer player or a footballer, that's what you are. Doesn't it's not gonna
let's be
change.
real. Let's be real here. Declan Rice and Sandro Tonali. Put them like compare them real quick. I know they're a bit different because Declan Rice, I guess, plays a bit more offensive, but like the margin of like how good they are and how much potential they have, like I would make an argument that Tonali has more potential. He's
I would
younger.
say I would. Oh, okay. That's different. Like in terms of what their future looks like. Yeah,
Yeah.
but right now I'd say Rice because I'm pretty sure he's a bit older and he's been playing, I guess, in a harder league. I don't know. That's what's that word called? Subjective.
Okay. But
Because you never know what it's like in those leagues. But yeah, Tonali is younger, so technically he should be worth more than what Rice is.
so I'm
But
thinking
like
like
he'd never be worth 100 mil, right? So that's the the irony of it.
yeah, because like my argument isn't that oh Rice is 100 million, so Tonali should be worth that. My argument is why is Rice 100 million and Tonali is less? Like I
Yeah.
don't think any player like I probably stressed this enough already, but in other episodes, but I don't think any player should be worth close to 100 million. I think that's been like the worst thing that happened to football ever since, like the early 2000s. Probably like 2010s. That's when it started getting really bad. But I don't think they should be worth all this money. It just doesn't make sense. Think about like how many like great players there were back then, way more than now. Like before they had freaking legends, right? Now it's like not even close to quality difference.
And they signed for like Ronaldinho signed for like 30 mil.
If those players were around nowadays, right? How expensive do you think they would be? Like it's
Give me an
insane.
example. Like
Like
what player?
like Kaká, okay, or Ronaldinho, Maldini.
Oh,
I don't know.
like let's say Kaká signing to Real Madrid, yeah.
Yeah,
Let me check actually how much it was.
it was like 50, 60 million,
Yeah, I feel like
and
it was like 60. And
but
that's a
like
lot
that's a lot
then.
for back then because that's already when prices started going up. But like, take in right, 60 million.
It was 67 million euros.
Sandro Tonali was sold for 70 million,
Yeah.
and
He's
no
not even good.
kid, but he's not even worth Kaká's right leg. Like,
That's
think about
true.
that for
That's
a sec.
true, yeah.
He's worth more than Kaká. Like, that's insane to me. So that shows you how screwed up the situation is. And then
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, no, it's justifiable because that's just how good they are." No, because if you see Kaká was sold for less than Tonali, that's a problem.
Yeah. I'll say this. I don't like over the years, like I guess more money comes in, more things get expensive, like inflation, whatever, la 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 la. But it would be weird to see like players then the same price as now, no?
Yeah.
Because I solely agree with what you're saying, and it makes sense. It's almost like a rating system, how much you pay for a player, right? And
Mhm.
if it's like changing every year, like soon, soon a regular midfielder that just plays like, you know, I don't have it. Like a player like Gundogan will be worth like 100 mil in like 5 years.
Yeah.
Same
And
style as him, I mean.
like to go back to what I was saying, like imagine Pele, Maradona, all
Oh
these
man,
great players. Like, what are they going to be worth? Billions?
how did no? I don't think so. But
Like
how would
$1 billion?
I have a question? How did they sign players then? Like $500?
When?
Like when you like, let's say you wanted to sign Pele back then from Santos. What do they ask for? Like a mil,
Yeah, probably.
$500,000. I don't know what the
Because
prices were.
because back then it wasn't about money. Like it was just about like having the player. Like before it was just like, yes, I want to play for your team because I like your team. Now it's yes, I'll play for your team if you offer me this amount of money.
If I get a goal bonus,
Yeah.
what do they think they pay you for to miss?
Yeah,
Why
really.
you need
So
a
what?
goal
So what? If you don't
bonus?
have a goal bonus, you're not gonna try as hard. Get off of my team. I don't want you. If a player ever
Ridiculous.
asked me for a goal bonus, I'd be like, "There's the door. Get out."
Rip up the contract in front of them.
No, that's horrible. And this is what we've come to. And we're getting off topic because we were just talking about transfers, but
I like
some
this though,
it's something that needed to be
to be
addressed.
said. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Um,
agree.
so yeah, let's go back to Rice. I don't know. I think he
Apart from
can
the price,
do it.
great signing. Apart from the price,
Apart from the price, great signing, but I don't think that the price justifies it. Like $100 million, I'm expecting a different type of player.
the price is Rice.
Funny guy. No, but seriously, like 100 million, in my opinion, he doesn't
That should
matter
be generational players,
doesn't matter what he does, he's not gonna be like proving himself to be 100 million unless he wins the Ballon d'Or,
which won't happen. Yeah,
which won't happen. So like,
yeah.
what's he
That's a very fair point.
what's he gonna do that's gonna make people be like, oh yeah, he was definitely worth the money? No, he wasn't. Doesn't matter. Not even if he gets 20 goals next season.
If they win the Premier League and Champions League, and he's like pretty much starting all those games. I mean, I wouldn't say he would be worth 100 mil still, but would he make up like 80% of that? How much would you think he would make up for?
If they win everything,
Yeah, like let's say they win the treble.
like let's say they win the Premier League and the Champions League, and this guy gets like Ballon d'Or and everything, then I would say okay, he was
Okay,
worth it. But like
no
if
pressure.
because like you said, 100 million is like a generational
Yeah,
player.
that's like your Mbappe's, your Haaland's.
Yeah, those are players that I would say okay, 100 mil is still ridiculous because
I
I would
wouldn't
rather
say that. I would say that's a good price for Mbappe Haaland, to be fair. But we're different.
okay, and then Kaká is worth 60.
Whatever.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah, I know.
doesn't make
Yeah,
sense. Like I would rather pay 100 mil for like someone like Kaká, Maldini, those players,
other Milan
not
players.
Zidane, Del Piero, those
Good
players.
job, lad. What about
Not
I have a question. I had a player in mind. What about Beckham?
Beckham. Yeah, he's class.
How much would you pay for him now if he was in prime mode?
Ryan Beckham, I would pay close to like 80, 90 million. Yeah, he
That was
was
a
class.
good team. That was a good team you guys had.
Like Pirlo, dude. Pirlo's worth
Well,
at
you guys gave him away for what, free?
oh, I know that that was a stupid move. That was a really stupid. But I don't know. I just think there's nothing Rice can realistically do this season that's gonna be making him worth that much money. So
Yeah,
we'll see
you're
how
right.
it goes. I don't think he's gonna have like this huge breakout season. And my prediction is that the fans are gonna be like, we overpaid for him.
You think so?
Come back to this video at the end of next season and you'll see what I was talking about. And that's what happens when you overpay players and you make this whole Premier League tax and everything.
And then
You
it
set
becomes a
players,
flop, and it's
you
not even his
set
fault.
players up for disaster. Think about why there's been so many flops that are like players that are, paid over 100 million, whatever.
Like Lukaku on Chelsea.
Remember we were looking at the list a while back of like
Oh
all the
yeah,
flops over
that's
100.
right. Who else
Why
was
do you
it?
think
So
that
many players were not that like Coutinho.
Because let's say okay, they had a okay season, but they weren't worth 100. Not even if you have a great season, you're not gonna be justified as being worth 100 million.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many flops on that list
Yeah.
because no one can replicate that. Messi, Ronaldo, those type of like Haaland and Mbappe, those players can prove themselves, I guess, to be worth that much. Even though I don't think they should be. Not even those players.
Do you
But
think would it make you happier if there's like a limit to spend on players, like a cap almost?
yeah,
Then like the player ratings, because like I always see like the money you pay for a player is like how much you rate them. 100 mil is like 10 out of 10 player.
no, that's not a thing anymore now. Nowadays, that's not
Yeah,
a
now
thing.
that doesn't exist. But
That
if you put
doesn't.
a cap, maybe it will. like that's how they would look at it.
Yeah.
Then Rice would be worth like 60.
I
I'd
think
say.
we should set the cap at 100 mil. Just to make it a bit like, more modernized, because like if this was like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, even 100 mil would be ridiculous. They would
Yeah.
say like 50 mil.
Yeah.
But now let's just like be fair. We'll be like, okay, 100 mil. And there's also like a cap on the salary or whatever.
Yeah. Then you wouldn't see like pure dominance from Premier League teams because they
Yeah.
just like buy whoever they want essentially.
Because let's say you make the cap 100 mil, that means that the player that's selling for 100 mil has to be the best in the world. And
Yeah.
Declan Rice isn't going to be 100 mil anymore.
Yeah, not even close.
So only like Mbappe, Haaland, those players will be selling for that much. And then players like Declan Rice, Sandro Tonali will be closer to like, I don't know, 40, 50 mil.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
think that would make it so much better.
You would like that for the sport?
I think it would make it so much better. I think that would be even better than a salary cap.
Yeah.
Because
It's not really about what the player makes, to be fair. I see it more
Yeah.
as what they're buying like from the teams.
Yeah, that's more of the problem than the salary, because the salary, like, usually they make just as much as any other sport. Like, on average, they make like what, 10 mil for 5 seasons, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of like basketball in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, that
Uh,
was a good talk about
yeah, it was.
Declan Rice. You had a lot to say.
That's why I wanted to talk about him, because
Yeah.
it opens up a lot of discussions. Um, who was the other player that you wanted to talk about?
Oh, uh, while we're still on Arsenal, so apparently they're ready. Like this was like a while ago that I read this now, but they're apparently ready to like bid for Mbappe when his contract's up next year. Do you think that's like reasonable and like what's the word? Like I'm blanking on the word, but do you think that realistic? Think that's realistic for them to bid for Mbappe? I mean, they just spent 100 mil on Declan Rice.
See, that's why I think it's so stupid. If you have a chance to get Mbappe, let's say he actually wants to go, and then you bottle it again and go for Declan Rice. Why don't you just save the money for Mbappe?
Forever bottlers.
I don't understand these people.
They love English. That's what it is. They how much you want to bet that some like delusional like England fans or Arsenal fans are just like I prefer Rice over Mbappe
Oh yeah,
for
that
sure,
definitely
right?
that's definitely a discussion that happens in some London bar.
Like no Arsenal TV.
Yeah,
They always ask those like questions and people just gives like some crazy stupid answers. I'm being shadiest.
yeah. I don't know. I don't know where to go about that.
That would be sick though. Like if remember we were talking about Mbappe and Haaland in the La Liga, imagine them in the Premier League.
That would just make Premier League even more stacked though. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying, like, I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't know if I want him there.
Would you prefer? Where would you? Okay, we're getting off topic again, but like, where would you want him to go? Short answer.
I already mentioned this before. I think he would really suit Barca.
All right, fair enough. And I
Anyway,
guess Haaland would stay at Man City, right?
yeah.
All
And
right.
then in the future, Real Madrid, like we said in the last video. Um,
Link in the description.
yeah, go watch that video. It got a lot of attention,
Yeah.
especially on the socials. Um,
Anything else on Arsenal? I don't think
what's the
so.
next topic of discussion, Andre?
All right, we'll leave Harry Kane for the last, and you can touch on. I mean, you did a little bit, but you can talk about like Tonali to Newcastle. Anything that you haven't said already?
No, I don't think I really need to talk about it that much anymore. It happened. It's over. I'm kind of over it. Like, as a
Yeah.
Milan fan, I'm kind of over it. Like, I want to move on, and that's it. We're rebuilding the team kind of around the money that he got us. So, I mean, I guess it's good that he got us 80 mil that we can
Yeah.
spend on.
Sure,
We're
it's
kind
got.
of like we're kind of like rebuilding our team now, so it's kind of good. To be fair,
would you
we're
say
getting better
it's
than
overpriced, would you say?
for Tonali. Yeah, 80 mil is too much.
Okay.
But I
You're
mean,
pretty honest, man.
good thing we have teams like Newcastle coming in with the money. Like,
Isn't that what
uh,
you guys are supposed to be? You got new owners now.
yeah, but they're conservatives.
Are
They
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 all
like
talk?
they like to conserve as much money as possible, and like, you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
how American business owners are. Yeah,
Well, not Todd.
that's a different breed.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we
Um,
didn't talk about that. I mean, we talked about it in the episode where we talked about our own
yeah,
clubs, but
I don't think we really need to mention that again. We
only,
don't need
only,
any more rants.
only, no rant. I'll just announce that like they almost gave away half their team, which is probably something that would have been needed because I think you said a long time ago, like they had too many players. They did have a lot of players, so I actually think this is good business from Todd. Controversial take, but how much did we sell Havertz for? Like, was it 60?
Average,
65?
yeah, around 65. I think so, yeah, 65 or
So that's
70.
not bad. And Pulisic is gone, Loftus-Cheek is gone. Couple other rejects are gone. Mount's gone.
I'm seeing a lot of
Aspilicueta's gone. I'm
people.
sad to see, but might be the right time for him.
I'm seeing a lot of people like kind of happy for these players that are leaving because they're like, "Oh, you've been freed from hell." Like you've
Especially
been
Pulisic as well, because
yeah,
he's like was
a
not
lot of
playing.
them a lot of Americans are really happy that Pulisic left.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good
Uh,
for it. It is actually really good for him. He needs a fresh start, and I think Milan's the perfect place for him.
was he injured a lot though?
Not like not like to say that he's like injury prone. No.
You don't think he's injury prone like a player that's like constantly injured?
When I like compare him to players like Bale, Royce, he doesn't even come close, I don't think.
Yeah, because I was looking on like the Milan fan pages and a lot of people are like, "Oh, we're worried because he might be injured a lot because we looked at his history and like he's been injured a lot." But I was looking on transfer market because you can actually see like the details of all the injuries.
Mm.
And to be fair to him, he doesn't really have that many like muscle injuries or anything like that.
Clashing injuries.
It's more just like fractures and like crashing, like you hit someone and like
Yeah.
or I don't know, stuff like that, or like you land on your ankle wrong and like you have an ankle
Yeah.
tear. Like
That's less concerning. Yeah.
it's not like he's, kind of like built weak
He's not
and
gonna run and get injured, right? Yeah. Not one of those.
knock on wood.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, so I don't know. I think it's good for him that he left Chelsea.
Yeah. All right. And finally, I think is
Is
Harry
this the
Kane.
final discussion of the day?
So you want to like re-announce what we just saw on Twitter
Yeah,
from the
so a
old
few
Fabrizio
minutes ago we got good old Fabrizio Romano in our notifications.
in our
And
DMs. I thought you were about to stay in our DMs.
oh, I wish Fabrizio hit us up, please.
He tells us first, then he tweets.
Could you imagine? He's like, here we go, boys. You can talk about it. Um, hold on, let me just pull up the tweet so that we can be specific about everything.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like 80 mil euros plus add-ons, I think.
Okay, it says Bayern have submitted their second bid for Harry Kane. It's confirmed proposal worth 80 mil plus add-ons, as you said. And Tottenham previously rejected a 70 mil plus add-on last week.
Yeah, so they
Uh,
added 10 mil to it.
and he says the initial feeling is that the second bid is similar to what Spurs um want, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
or it's getting closer to what they want.
But like
Um,
asking price.
yeah. I think it's still closer to 100 mil, but I don't think they'll get that. So, yeah.
So on this edition of Is He Worth It, Nico?
Is he worth 100 or what, 100 mil? No.
Is he worth the 80 mil though? If they
80,
accept it.
I'd say that's not bad. Harry Kane is clinical. He's a clinical striker. He can score a lot of goals. He kind of reminds me of like Benzema with how he's clinical, like
Yeah,
always there when you need him, and that's why I think he would have been perfect on Real Madrid.
he would, yeah.
But
Also, very rarely you see like mistakes, like big chances missed. He usually
yeah,
converts those.
in front of the net, he always scores. He's a
Yeah,
very class striker. He is getting a bit older, but he's in his prime now, so it's perfect for him to move to a team where he can start winning.
yeah.
Sorry, Tottenham. Um,
It's
I think
evident at this point.
Bayern need him though, because Bayern need a striker.
They don't have a striker. Their striker right now is like Choupo-Moting, I think. So yeah, upgrade.
Not ideal.
Not
Uh,
really.
sorry, Chupo.
And they still won the league.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
just
can you do?
that's how it is over there.
I have something to say though about Harry Kane to Bayern. So a lot of people like before this tweet came out were saying like, why would he go to Bayern to win the Bundesliga 97 times in a row when you can beat the who has the record? Shearer for goals in the Premier League. They're like, why would you leave to Bayern when you can just beat the record? Well, of course he would leave if he wants to win trophies, no?
Who
Am I
cares about
crazy to
beating
think
record?
that?
No, that's crazy. Who cares about beating a goal scoring record? Are you serious?
Ridiculous.
Like, yeah, cool. It's nice if it comes to you, like eventually, like, oh, cool, I beat the record,
Yeah.
whatever. But if you have nothing else to show for it, like, who cares? Who
Yeah.
cares? I wanna actually have something to show for my career.
Imagine in the history, like people look back and Harry Kane like does win it and they're like, oh wow, he must have been like really good. He probably won a lot of stuff. No, never won a thing. People are gonna be like, oh, okay, that's weird.
And I'm pretty sure he can beat some goal scoring records in the Bundesliga if Lauen didn't completely smash them all.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Um, I was just about to say something. And like I'm oh yeah. Imagine if he was like, like Spurs weren't like the best team ever. Imagine if he was on a team like City. How many goals would he have now?
Yeah.
Like that's like that just shows how like crazy good he is. Like he's on Spurs, they finished regularly like what, fifth. They had that one year that they finished second, and he's still like close to the record. So like that's pretty impressive. That's that 80 mil price tag we're
hmm
talking about. I would actually say 70 mil, but I guess Byron tried that and Spurs said no, but it is what it is. But I don't know. I mean, I'd say it's a better fit for him to move. Um, Maybe he would have preferred another Premier League team. Maybe he can keep that record going and compete for Champions League. But I guess we all wish to be millionaires as well. You don't always get what you want, but yeah, that's my take.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good move for him for his career, and I hope it goes through because we've all wanted him to kind of leave Spurs.
Yeah,
Everybody's been saying it for a while. So yeah, I'm happy for him if he goes. And that's all I want to add.
yeah, and maybe
I'm all,
Bayern have a chance at a Champions League, right? So,
yeah,
which they seem to have all the time.
I'm all out of topics for
A lot
that.
of rants.
Yeah, I have nothing to say. I have nothing left for today.
If I speak, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, yeah,
Good lad. That takes us pretty much to the end, right?
yeah. It was a not too long of an episode today, just kind of going over everything that's happened so far.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it's been a quiet transfer market, but it's not been like anything crazy so far.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, not crazy, but not silent. Yeah, there's been
Yeah.
a few deals here and there.
All right then. Shall we inform the people what our next episode will be like and how far away it will be?
Yeah. What do you want to announce?
Well, I think it's definitely important to talk about maybe do kind of like a signings recap of like all
Oh,
of Europe.
right. Yes, we should do
I
that. Yeah.
think that's definitely something that we should do next because
Hmm.
there's a lot of topics to talk about.
I agree.
Like rumor signings, and that can be our next episode. It will be in a little bit though because I'm gonna be going on vacation for the next 2 weeks. So
Where are you going, lad?
going to Italia,
Ciao, bello.
going to Italy, and I'm gonna be going on a little break. So when I come back, we can get that episode out for you guys.
I'll be running all the social medias for everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
The post will be there.
I'll be trying it too. I'm gonna have Wi-Fi there, and
Maybe
I'm gonna bring.
maybe your Wi-Fi will be better in Italy.
Yeah, it honestly will be. I'm probably will.
You're gonna be like, wow, this is paradise. I never want to leave.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so I'll try my best to do as much as I can there too.
I don't think we'll be doing any episodes while you're there
There
though.
won't be any episode
Yeah.
probably for the next 3 weeks.
All right.
And yeah, that's it. Just wanted to inform you guys about that. So look out for that transfer episode. It's not just gonna be Premier League, just like everything.
Yeah.
Kind of everything.
All of
that's
Europe.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for listening to another episode. I hope you guys like the logo and the rebranding and everything, like we mentioned before.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, please go check out our socials in the description. I'm gonna be posting short clips from all of our episodes there. So if you guys want to get a faster viewing, go there and you can see a bunch of shorter clips,
Mm-hmm.
especially TikTok. And yeah, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Don't
And
forget to like and subscribe.
yeah. And we'll see you in the next episode.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah, bye.
All right.